And I just want to speak that a transmission state is something that we join with. It's a frequency we attune to. So when we're singing the mantras, we are joining to a state, an embodiment, a frequency, a tone, a meaning, an expression of a way of life, of a way of being. So take a breath with me and attune to this frequency of divine perfection. Puurnam-Adah, Puurnam-Idam, Puurnam-Udacyate. So can you feel that? Puurnashya, Puurnam-Aadaaya, Puurnam-Eva-Avashissyate. These are very ancient words. It means this is whole, that is whole, so this and that, everything is complete to itself. When the perfect is taken from the perfect, so when you're extracting anything from anything else, only the perfect remains, which means everything is in its entirety all the time. I just saw a black bird fly by my window when I said that. So the lesson with all of these anxieties and all of these things that are bubbling up in the collective, that are bubbling up in our psyches, and I just always want to mention, I think it's really important to mention the astrological energies of this moment right here. We're in a shift. And I wonder if some of you can feel that. I can feel that September is going to have a very different frequency. There's going to be a lot of initiations and a lot of new beginnings that is going to mirror what has happened where we left off in March. And the changing that's going to come from September to October is this alchemical concoction that's going to reboot, if you will, where we left off in March before the quarantine hit. It's going to be a different shape-shifting, a second level of energy from all of the planets going retrograde over the summer and then moving into the frequency of the next year. It's really important that we attune ourselves to the frequencies of these cycles, because when we are in the steadfast walk of these cycles and these rhythms, we can be carried. And this requires listening. So basically everything that I'm saying is all of the work that I've been digesting over this last week and a half, in my own embodiment of learning not to push, not to strive, and not to control. Which brings me to the session I had this morning with my client. We can overcompensate. This society that we're currently living in, here's my cat, the society that we're currently living in, pardon the cat grab, my infinite cat grab. The society that we're currently living in has a hyper-masculinization to it. And for different reasons, the emotional, vulnerable core of women, especially I see, especially in my work, but also some men but I see in my generation, the men have softened and kind of owned that because of the fear of being toxic masculine. The women have overcompensated and become embodiments of a very controlling type masculine energy of healing and fixing, and losing some of the beautiful potency of the sweetness and the inner child and the vulnerability and the deep yearning that we have as women. So this is something that this is my own, what I'm also chewing on and what I'm guiding others through as well. And we're all at different levels in our relationship with the self. and that depth of quality of asking for what we need in order to expand as women and expand and move forward. It's very deeply important. Miriam, I see you. You're very potent energy. I love that. That's so good. I wasn't looking down for anybody, and all of a sudden my energy just went to you, so I feel you. Yeah, so sisters, so bringing in the quality, the elemental quality of the elements, right, when we're healing is super important. So we can think that being fiery and being stern and stable is an element of power, is an element of ferocity. And yet power can come also from water. Water is simultaneously the softest and the most hardest thing on earth. It is the most powerful. A tsunami can take out a whole city. If the waters rose, there would be no land. We would be beneath the water. The water can technically own and claim us, but it is also fluid and malleable and sincere, and it's really the conduit of emotional energy. And we think of water as a very feminine embodiment, and femininity can be very fierce. So these qualities of water and air are things that we can move within us. We can sing into. That's a lot of my work. And if you watch the video from the beginning, there's the singing of the mantra. So we can call in the elements and the energies and the frequencies of these elemental tones into our relationship to our chakras, into our relationship to our voice, and ultimately in our actual embodiment of how we're carrying ourselves and our energy on the earth. So let's close this transmission with singing the same mantra and singing, I see you, Angelica, that's beautiful, and singing the same mantra and call in whatever frequency you'd like to call in. I'm going to call in the frequency of water because that's what's here for me. Water is the energy that I'm working with right now. If you are wanting to call in the energy of fire, you can sing this. And you don't even have to know the words, because I don't feel like going into a long explanation of what the words are. You can just vocally tone, okay? So again, the mantra means everything is whole, and if you take wholeness from wholeness, only wholeness remains. So, let's sing together. Om Puurnam-Idah, Puurnam-Idam, Puurnam-Udacyate, Puurnashya Puurnam-Aadaaya, Puurnam-Eva-Avashissyate. And I'm going to sing the English translation, and you guys can sing that with me. This is whole, that is whole. When the perfect is taken from the perfect, only the perfect remains. This is whole, that is whole. When the perfect is taken from the perfect, only the perfect remains. Puurnnam-Adah, Puurnnam-Idam, Puurnnam-Aadaaya, Avashissyate. Puurnnam-Adah, Puurnnam-Idam, Puurnnam-Aadaaya, Avashissyate. Om Puurnnam-Idam, Puurnnam-Idam, Puurnnam-Aadaaya. Om Puurnam-Idam, Puurnam-Adah, Puurnam-Idaaya. This is whole, that is whole. When the perfect is taken from the perfect, only the perfect remains. Happy beautiful new moon in Leo. I didn't mention that, but it's a new moon. So it's normally an intention setting time. And for me, it's a deep vibrational shifting time. It's a time for asking questions of my inner being. It's a time for actually being really still and listening. And I'm so glad that you enjoyed it. Thank you for being here. I am grateful because, you know, we need each other. The medicine comes, right? I have medicine to give, but if you're not there listening, then, you know, it's like the tree falling in the forest, which is fine because trees. But yeah, it's a joy, right? It's a joy for us to give our medicine to people and to have it received. It creates this deep sense of personal, like, honoring and yumminess and service. And I'm really grateful. I'm really grateful that my transmissions are held and received, and my prayer with my work, like always, that I say this often, is that you also are sharing your medicine and your transmission. That's really deeply my wish for all of you who are watching this, because, and not only that, but then to bring it back to the client I had this morning, not only do we share it in the world, and that's very powerful and it's super important, and I honor that, but really, when we're weaving the relationship of our own energetic body to ourselves, that's also very yummy and beautiful work. So wherever you are on this journey, it's endless and it's deep, and it's filled with, like, waves of feeling really attuned and really connected to ourselves, and then also feeling sometimes where we are completely, like, numbed out and can't access and are listening constantly for, like, what's really here. And I think something that I've stepped into this week, and this is the last thing I'll say, I promise, and then I'll wrap up, is that I really want to be seen in the space. Oh, my heart is full. That's so good. Beautiful. I really want to bring the alchemy. I really want my platform and my coaching and my message to be that we are all in this together, and that no being is not doing this work on themselves in some way. And that may that work, that deep, that digging, all of those things be in service to the joy and the love and the beauty and the trips to Bali and all of the things that we fantasize and idealize are like this perfect reality, and bringing all of it together, because that's really my work, is how do I say yes to all the things all the time and really be fully here in acknowledgement of my own self, of everything that's showing up in my reality, and to be at peace with everything that's here, and remember, just like Ram Dass said, remember God, remember the attunement to all that is, so that I can actually really seriously feel my vibration. Hi Talia, sister, I love you. But yeah, really just say yes to everything that is, and also emit that, be a vibration of that, be a transmitter of that, because if I can be that in the world, then that's my dharma, that's my mission, if I'm woven to myself and I'm in service to all things, then, you know, that's it. That's all I came here to do, and be an embodiment of that expression. So, aho, happy new moon. I love you all so much. Big virtual hug from all the way over here in my realm. And yeah, Satnam, may you be blessed from my little pyramid. Yay, sky, yay. Look at my little cool thing. So, okay. Bye, everybody.